welcome to another episode of Junk Food and You. Today we're going to talk about snack facts. Now I know I've actually had a previous episode of Junk Food and You where I talked about snack facts, but that was more talking about the sort of origins of how it's made and where I came up with the ideas and everything like that. This is actually sort of a celebration of the finishing of snack facts. Now when I say finishing, I mean it's not that it's like over because I'm like sick of it or I think it's bad. I had always planned to sort of do up to issue 12, including in issue 0. That was always the plan. That was always sort of what I thought of doing. So I thought, after that I would sort of reassess, and if it was going really well and I was really enjoying it, I would do it more. If not, I would sort of think about doing other things and maybe come back to it or think about this in a different format. Like I'm thinking about doing a long form book involving the characters Sir Francis Sweetums and Barbara. I'm also thinking about reprinting these in a larger size, sort of in an artist edition that'll sort of feature all the artwork and my process of how I made each and every issue. So each page will have like a dedicated, each page of this mini comic will have like a section of the book to sort of talk about how I came up with it and have examples of the artwork, like from my thumbnails all the way to the final art and the original art in sort of its original size. So I'm thinking about putting that together at some point. But as far as like the actual just sort of small micro comic snack facts, it's pretty much done. Hopefully by the time you're seeing this, you can actually get these. You can download. You can buy the digital copies and print these yourself, which is the easiest and cheapest way to do it. That's available right now. I will have sort of physical copies to sell too, and maybe even signed physical copies. So if you are really interested, I can send those to you. They're a bit more expensive because postage and everything like that. But yeah, so I thought I'd sort of talk about it. I mean, this is the issue 0. This is the first one where, I sort of decided to explain the characters. I decided to do an issue 0 just because I think if I went right into the idea of what was going on with this, you wouldn't really understand that there's this like adventurer with a little sugar glider. Just sort of Sir Francis Sweetums explaining what Snack Facts is all about. So that was kind of cool. I did the cover. It's in pencil crayon. I kind of like it. Pencil crayon is one of my favorite mediums to work in. The inside is sort of an ink thing. Funny thing about it is each issue has a color represented throughout the inside. So this one is yellow. And actually I decided to do the colors after I'd done this issue. So I'd actually done, I think I was onto the second issue or issue 1. By the time I thought about just doing like a one color throughout the issue. And so I went back and sort of picked a color, and in this case it was yellow. So this was really where I was finding myself. The characters are a little sort of different than they end up near the end, but I'm still pretty happy with it, and I like it, and it's a good issue, and I love the cover. I think the cover is a lot of fun. Again, I love doing pencil crayon stuff, so it's kind of neat. The next issue, issue number 1, is about Gummy Bears. This is a cover by my friend Tam Patel. He's a great illustrator. He does a comic book called TikTok Tom, which I also participate in. Gummy Bears was always I always wanted to do that issue first. Like that was always sort of the thing I wanted to do first, because to be honest, I've actually thought about writing a book about gummies. And so I had so much information on the subject. So it wasn't that hard to research. A lot of the information that's in here is stuff I just knew already. So I didn't have to like go into deep research. And that's good for like a first issue. One of the fun sort of facts about this cover is I had to guide Tan on Barbara because he thought it was a rat or a gopher or something, and I had to explain it was a sugar glider and send him some reference pictures, so he actually redid the cover. But it's a great cover. I love it. Sir Francis is looking both evil and happy at the same time, and I think that's kind of cool. So next issue, Bubblegum. This is covered by my friend Tom Yo. He also works on TikTok Tom, but he does a lot of illustration stuff. His Instagram feed is amazing. And he did this sort of painted cover, and it's just unbelievable. But yeah, and this was the first time I really started playing with the titles in the opening, on the cover. I was always wondering how I was going to deal with that, but this cover really lent itself well to it, and sort of then made me think creatively later on about how to do my covers, like loosen up a little bit, because I'm not a big corporation. I don't have to put my pieces in the same place. I can kind of move them around a bit. The color inside this one was pink, which made sense for gum. I started also getting into some sort of more detailed pictures. Like early on, I just sort of had them with white backgrounds, but here I sort of, in the Roman pages a little bit more. Also, one of my favorite pages I've ever drawn is this one right here with the bubblegum on its face. Actually, I like the one with this is sort of like a really nice 2-page spread, actually. Two of my favorite drawings I've ever done for this thing. I really, I think it's awesome. I might even make a t-shirt out of the one with Sir Francis with the bubble gum against his nose, just because I love it so much. But yeah, it's kind of a cool issue. The next one is a cover by Ariel Stulman. It's issue 3. It's the Halloween issue, because this came out in October when I did the digital copies. I love her interpretation, and I love the fact that she put them in costumes, because part of the story is sort of Barbara wearing different costumes throughout, so she included that in there and then made Sir Francis a mummy. And I love the candy corn and the cauldron and everything like that, and the colors are awesome. And again, I started playing with the titles a little bit more, and even put the issue number behind Sir Francis Sweetums, and I thought that was kind of cool. The color is orange, because that always seems sort of, well, with the orange and then the black ink and then the white, it sort of gave it candy corn colors. And I knew that candy corn was going to be a subject, which is sort of right here. So I knew that it would kind of worked. This was one of the pages right here where I had a bit of trouble figuring out what to make orange, but I figured that one of the kids' costumes could be made orange. So I always thought that was kind of cool, and, you know, all kinds of fun stuff. And I love the ending of this one where Barbara dresses up as Sir Francis, and Sir Francis thinks he's like looking in a mirror. So that's kind of fun. So this is a cool cover. This was the issue about potato chips, and this was created by a friend of mine who's a fine artist, and he does like a lot of abstract stuff. So it was kind of interesting asking him to do this, and I'm so glad he did, because he sort of gave it, it's very definitely cartoony, and he has them in there, but there's sort of an abstractness to it as well, which I really love. It's Michael Benton, Mike B as I call him. We worked together a while back, and we just keep contact, and he's like, we have these running jokes between each other that are like old and horrible, but we just love telling them to each other. I made the color in this one yellowish, a little lighter yellow than the first issue, like less of a gold, just because I figured there'd be a big potato chip reveal at the end. I really got in. This was also the first time I think I tried to sort of draw a person. So actually, rather than in Haribo, I sort of did this graphic that was sort of abstract to represent Hans Riegel. But in this one, I actually tried to draw Mr. Crumb, who is the potential inventor of the potato chip. Nobody's really sure for sure, but he is potentially the inventor. So it's the first time I did a portrait, which I thought was kind of neat. So that was a fun issue. Next is issue 5. It's a Christmas issue. This one is done by my friend Jeff Banks. Again, I love the colors and just the whole sort of Christmas theme. When I thought of doing a Christmas issue, Jeff was like the person. I was like, he's got to be the one to do it. He's going to do such a great job, and he definitely pulled through 1000%. It looks great. Red, of course, because of the red and white with the candy cane. Because this issue focuses on candy canes. There's a lot of Christmas treats you can choose from, but I thought I'd stick with the classic. Also, this page here is one of my more detailed, where they're in a church, and it talks about sort of the religious possible history of candy canes. And so I wanted to make sure that I really sort of went crazy with that drawing. I remember spending a couple of days just sort of cross-hatching it and inking it and everything like that. And really got into it with this issue, so that was fun. This is sort of a unique issue. This is issue 6. This is about theater snacks, and there's a couple of things unique about this issue. First of all, the cover was designed by Allison, but I drew it. So again, pencil crayon, because I really love doing pencil crayon, but Allison designed it. I think it looks really cool. And the whole sticky floor and popcorn and stuff like that. It's a great representation of theater snacks. Also inside, we normally had one color throughout, but this one I decided to do both blue and red to sort of represent the 3D glasses, because sort of at the end, you'll see that the popcorn sort of flies out at Barbara, so it sort of adds that 3D effect and everything like that. So sort of plays with the idea that 3D is the color of this book. And fortunately, there's a lot of theater snacks that also have red and blue in them, so it's sort of worked out that way. Whoops. Well, that's okay. I'm on the next issue. The next issue was drawn by my friends Randy and Jen. They did a great job again. It's really fun. They actually did a whole spin around, and so that was kind of cool. And this is the Valentine's Day issue, and I thought it was perfect because they were this couple that I know, and they're really great. And why not have a couple do your cover about love and Valentine's Day? This one sort of talks about boxes of chocolate. Again, I sort of got some craziness in the background and started really working on the detail. Also started working in logos in this one a little bit, sort of some of the companies, because I felt it was important. And of course, red being the color. And I thought the box at the end with Barbara was kind of fun. So definitely, it was a great issue. I had a lot of fun working on that. Issue 8 was a collaboration between a bunch of friends of mine. There are a bunch of friends that I sort of grew up doing comics when I was a younger teenager. And they were sort of part of that group. Tan, Tom were part of that group. But then also my friend Patrick got involved, and we sort of collaborated, or they collaborated on this cover, and it's about Lollipops. And I thought they were perfect for this because, you know, I actually make a reference, a pop culture reference, whereas I talk about, you know, how Kojak was sort of always the police officer who sucked on a lollipop. And that's one of the first times I did a pop culture reference, and one of the only times, but I'm not sure why. But I chose a dark yellow for this. I was going to do purple originally, but I just didn't think it fit, and there was a few places where it just really didn't work. Purple wouldn't work. And this scene here with the caveman running from the bees, I had no place to put purple. And so yellow, again, yellow seemed to be the common color to do as my single color. I don't know why. Next is the Easter issue. I did this cover. It had been a little while since I did a cover, and I wanted to, and I decided to sort of show off my photography chops, and I bought a chocolate bunny, and I just sort of drew in Sir Francis and Barbara on the bunny. Brown is the color that I chose throughout, and again, I got some pretty detailed backgrounds compared to the first few issues. You know, as we got later on in this, I started thinking more and more about backgrounds, and I love this one of just how many chocolate bunnies, and there's just Sir Francis and Barbara in this room full of chocolate bunnies, and I thought that was really cool. So, yeah, it's a good issue. It's a fun one. The next issue, issue 10, Tom, who had done issue 2, he gave me this cover as well. This is Marshmallows, and he did this great one of Sir Francis and Barbara roasting marshmallows. Finally, I got to do a purple color within. I've always wanted to do purple, but that was actually inspired by this page right here, because this is the mallow plant, and it actually has sort of a purpley color on the inside of the flower, and so I thought that's perfect. And then I'll just work it into other parts of the design, the candy store in France where marshmallows were invented and stuff like that. And then in the background here where Barbara's sleeping amongst the marshmallows. So yeah, it's a fun issue. It's a good one. From here on out, I do all the rest of the covers. This is number 11. This is Ice Cream. I decided to get a little cartoony and a little more designy with this one. Thought it was kind of fun making Sir Francis and Barbara ice cream cone heads. The color in this one was brown, pink, and sort of a yellowy vanilla. So the idea was like the Neapolitan colors. So that was the idea behind that. A little challenging. Often I would kind of cheat, like in this first page, I just made it the sundae flavors colors. So it was the ice cream flavors that they were sort of supposed to represent. But a few other places I managed to sort of fit brown and yellow. But often it would be sort of, and there's a Christopher Columbus. I made the boats. It's got the wooden boat with the ropes made of yellow, and then I put sort of pink jewels on the wheel of the ship just for no reason. And then, you know, again, I sort of cheated a little bit with the ice cream all the time, but that was worth it. I think it still worked and pretty fun, and kind of fun little ending on that one. The last one, issue 12, I also drew this cover, and this is Barbara with a cookie, and it's done in like a 3D looking thing. I'll be honest, I've never actually tried it with 3D glasses. I just sort of saw instructions, and Jim Rugg from Cartoonist Kayfabe gave me a couple tips on drawing 3D drawings, and so I sort of took his ideas and practiced and sort of decided just to make it. I don't know how well it works. I can't find my 3D glasses. I actually have a pair somewhere, but I don't know where they are. And then inside the color is yellow and sort of, or not yellow, but sort of a dark brown, and you know, because that's sort of the cookie dough batter and a cookie color, and it just sort of made life easier. And I love the big cookie at the end of it. That's basically the progression here, is that the cookie that Barbara is carrying gets bigger and bigger up at each page. So eventually it's just this gigantic cookie, and at the end, Sir Francis sort of acknowledges the giganticness of the cookie. So that's Snack Facts, and I've finished, like I said, 12 issues. This is the 12th issue, including issue 0. Right now they're available. You can buy them at candycritic.org/snackfacts, and you can buy all of the issues digitally. You can download them. I think it's $5 to get the entire set, or you can buy them individually for 50 cents to get a digital download. Issue 0 is free. Like, no matter what, you can just download that, see how you like it. I've got instructions on how to fold it too. You know, they're they're the type of thing when you take it home and you actually print it, you only need one page to print it, and then you just fold it up yourself. And there's, like, again, there's instructions on how to do it, but they sort of fold up into these cool little comics. So kind of vaguely inspired off of the gumball machines, when you used to give mini comics and gumball machines, but I didn't make them quite that small. You can print them bigger and smaller than this too if you want, and also you get a digital copy so you can put it on a tablet or whatever and read the comic there. But you can have these cute things. You can print off as many as you like for your household. That's fine. I'd ask that you don't give them to your friends and have them buy it. It's $5 for the entire set, so it's not too bad. And I'm going to be looking at selling. I'm working right now at selling physical sets. It'll probably be more like 20 bucks, 20 or 30 bucks for the set, just because I've got to mail them off and everything like that. So a lot of that's postage costs and everything like that. So, but yeah, that's Snack Facts. So thanks for watching this episode of Junk Food and You, where I looked at Snack Facts. I went through each issue and sort of talked a little bit about behind the scenes and stuff. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at CandyCritic, or go to candycritic.org and find links to all of my other social media, including Instagram, Facebook, that kind of fun stuff. You can also go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/candycritic. There you will get all kinds of bonus content. You get these videos ahead of time. Depending on the tier you're on, you'll also get copies of Snack Facts. You'll have access to the entire library. You'll get physical copies if you go to a high enough tier. It all depends on what you do and how you sign up. So just check that out, and it helps support the site quite a bit, and helps me maybe produce other projects, like I'm thinking about working on the artist edition of that. So it'll help sort of get that jump started and keep the price down later on. So that would be awesome if you did that. And probably I'll have a tier of the Patreon where you'll be able to get the artist edition for free. So keep an eye out for that. And as I said before, you can always pick up issues of this, candycritic.org/snackfacts, and pick up issues. Enjoy them, love them. Let me know what you do with them. Show me pictures of them folded. Maybe you can do a really small one or a really big one. That'd be kind of cool. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.